3 p.m. in Cairo, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to our news bulletin from Nile TV International. I'm Hanan El Khouli, and let me first please welcome my dear colleague Ahmed Nader, and we start with the headlines with you, Ahmed.
Thank you so much, Hanan. Hello, and we will be starting straight away with the main headlines from the world of politics. Stay tuned.
Welcome back again. The news in full. Large numbers of people joined political and popular delegations who gathered at the Egyptian side of the Rafah crossing border in solidarity with the Palestinian people to express the refusal for the plans of displacement and liquidation of the Palestinian cause. The delegations included representatives of the Senate and the House of Representatives, in addition to a number of citizens rejecting the displacement of the Palestinians. Earlier, President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi stressed that the displacement of the Palestinian people from their land is an injustice that Egypt cannot take part in. He asserted on the unwavering Egyptian stance towards the Palestinian cause.
Thousands of Palestinians in the occupied West Bank city of Ramallah celebrated the return of a new group of Palestinian prisoners released under a ceasefire deal in the Israeli war in the Gaza Strip. A total of 110 Palestinians were released on Thursday. Of them, 66 arrived in the West Bank, 21 were deported, 14 reached Jerusalem, and 9 were sent to Gaza. They were released in exchange for 3 Israelis held by the Palestinian factions in Gaza. Unlike the first exchange nearly 2 weeks ago, when most inmates were in administrative detention, several high-profile prisoners were released this time. 5 Thais were also freed in Gaza as part of the ceasefire deal.
Meanwhile, the Palestinian Hamas group released on Friday the names of 3 Israeli captives to be freed on Saturday in the 4th hostage prisoner swap under the Gaza ceasefire. The office of Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu confirmed it had received the names of the captives to be freed on Saturday. It has yet to officially release the names of the 4th group of Palestinian prisoners to be released. Earlier, the military wing of Hamas, Al-Qassam Brigades, announced the martyrdom of the group. Its distinguished commanders and leaders, Abu Ubaida, spokesperson for the brigade, in a video statement, named Commander Mohammed Daif, Chief of the Staff of the Qassam Brigade's commander, Marwan Isa, Deputy Chief of Staff among them.
The U.S. President Donald Trump's Middle East envoy Steve Witkoff is in the region this week in a bid to prop up the Gaza ceasefire that began on January the 19th. He met the Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and the Israeli Finance Minister Bezalel Smotrich. The Israeli Finance Minister opposed the ceasefire deal, which is currently in the first 42-day phase. Negotiations for the second phase of the deal should start next Monday, according to a timeline given earlier by an Israeli official. This phase would cover the release of the remaining captives and the Israeli military withdrawal from Gaza.
Still ahead on our news bulletin, and with the latest developments in the Gaza and the Palestinian territories, as the Palestinian Health Ministry said that Israeli occupation forces killed 2 Palestinians in an attack in Jenin in the northern occupied West Bank on Friday. Earlier this month, and days after a truce in Gaza was into force, Israeli forces launched a major offensive in the Jenin area, killing nearly 2 dozens of Palestinians. 10 Palestinians were killed in a strike on Tamoun village in the West Bank on Thursday. The Israeli military announced that 2 among the 10 killed were involved in the killing of a soldier and injury of 3 others in Tamoun on the 20th of January.
The United Nations said that the humanitarian relief agency UNRWA would continue working in all the Palestinian territories, including East Jerusalem, despite the Israeli legislation coming into force that cuts ties with the organization. The agency is banned from operating on the Israeli soil, and contact between it and the Israeli officials is also forbidden. But Stefan Dujarric, spokesman for the UN chief Antonio Guterres, said the UNRWA clinics across the occupied West Bank, including East Jerusalem, are open. Meanwhile, the humanitarian operations in Gaza continues, including with the UNRWA work there.
Welcome back. Minister of Foreign Affairs, Migration and Egyptian Expatriates Badr Abdelati said he conveyed a message from President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi to Lebanese President Joseph Aoun that reiterated Egypt's full support to Lebanon at the delicate time. Addressing a press conference following a meeting with Aoun, Abdelati said that Egypt supports reconstruction in Lebanon, inviting the Lebanese president to visit Egypt in the nearest possible opportunity. The top minister also said Egypt backs efforts by designate Prime Minister Nawaf Salam to form a government that includes all Lebanese parties. Minister Abdelati asserted that Egypt conducts periodic contacts continuously to ensure the importance of full implementation of the ceasefire in Lebanon and the necessity of a full Israeli withdrawal from Lebanese territories.
The Lebanese Health Ministry said that the overnight Israeli air attacks on Junta, the eastern Lebanon's Beqa Valley, killed 2 people and wounded 10. The attacks are the most recent in a series of Israeli strikes on the Lebanese territory since the ceasefire in Lebanon was extended to February the 18th. These fresh strikes killed and injured more than 100 people. Earlier, the Israeli occupation army said it struck several Hezbollah targets overnight in the Beqa Valley and along the Syrian-Lebanese border. On Thursday, Israel said it intercepted a surveillance drone launched by Hezbollah, calling it a breach of the ceasefire agreement. On Sunday, the U.S. confirmed that the agreement, which includes a 60-day period for the Israeli troop withdrawal, will remain in effect until February the 18th, extending the original deadline from January the 26th.
And moving on to the developments in Syria, as the Syria's interim president Ahmed al-Shara promised to hold a national dialogue conference in his first address to the nation since the fall of ousted leader Bashar al-Assad. Shara, who was appointed interim president a day earlier for an unspecified transitional period, vowed to preserve civil peace and Syria's territorial unity. Shara said in a pre-recorded televised address that the National Dialogue Conference is a direct platform for discussions to listen to different points of views on Syria's future political program. Shara also committed to issuing a constitutional declaration to serve as legal references during the country's transition.
Welcome back. The U.S. President Donald Trump blamed diversity policies under Barack Obama and Joe Biden for the poor safety standards after a deadly crash in which a military helicopter collided with a passenger plane over Washington. Trump added that he put safety first, while the former presidents Obama, Biden, and the Democrats put the policy first. On Wednesday night, 67 passengers and crew were killed in a mid-air crash in Washington between the U.S. commercial jet and military helicopter. The disaster caused both aircraft to tumble into the icy Potomac River.
And moving on to Moscow and the Ukrainian-Russian war, as We start with the latest over there, as Moscow on Friday accused Ukrainian troops of killing 22 people in an occupied Russian village in the Kursk border region, including a woman, as it investigates the killing of which took place between September and November. On January the 19th, Russia's investigative committee had said it was investigating the killing of at least 7 civilians in a village that lies about 20 kilometers from the Ukrainian border. Kremlin spokesman Dmitry Peskov accused the international community of ignoring Russia's claims. Meanwhile, Ukrainian sources said that Russia launched a barrage of drones on Ukraine in an overnight attack, injuring 4 people and damaging a hospital in a grain warehouse in the southern Odessa region. Russian drones caused damage in the northeastern Sami region and the Odessa region in the south and the central Kursk region.
Suez Canal Authority Chairman Osama Rabia said that there are signs of stability returning to the Red Sea and urged the company to take that into account when planning sea routes. According to a statement from the SCA, Rabia made the comments at a meeting with the CEO of the Danish container shipping group, AP Møller-Mærsk, and other senior executives from the group.
Minister of Irrigation and Water Resources Hani Suelam asserted that the water challenges that face Egypt and Côte d'Ivoire are similar. He pointed that the problems are due to overpopulation, global warming, and urban expansion. This came during a meeting that the minister held with the Côte d'Ivoirian ambassador to Egypt, Albert Daul. The meeting discussed means of boosting bilateral cooperation in the field of irrigation.
U.S. President Donald Trump reiterated the threat to place 100% tariffs on the BRICS nations as the deadline loomed for him to impose tariffs on Canada and Mexico. Trump had previously threatened 100% tariffs on the BRICS nations, a bloc including Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa, if they create a rival to the U.S. dollar, which he doubled down on Thursday night.
On his part, Brazilian President Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva said that if U.S. counterpart Donald Trump hiked tariffs on Brazilian products, the Latin American giant is one of the countries that Trump has threatened with higher tariffs. But Lula da Silva, currently in his 3rd term, said he would prefer to improve our relationship with the United States and boost trade ties with Brazil's 2nd largest trading partner after China. Well, with this, ladies and gentlemen, we come to the end of our news bulletin for now. Many thanks from my side, Hanan Al-Khouly, and many thanks to you, Ahmed.
Thank you very much, Hanan. Of course, await Hanan for the news coverage right after the news bulletin straight away. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.